Hi everyone. I just want to thank you for joining this YouTube video today. Today I kind of want to talk about getting alone, and what I mean by that is I want to focus on how there's a slight difference between the focus that Western society has of individualism versus getting alone with the Lord. This isn't a thing about you cutting yourself off from other people and say, I'm just going to get this, I'm going to do this on my own. It's more like, because the Christian walk isn't to be done in isolation. That's the one thing that you do to worsen your situation, no matter what situation you're in. If you want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna just do this by myself, good luck. No one ever survives, if so. Even like Paul and Silas were like together, and because of their bond they were able to do things that were exponential. So anyone who was like, yeah, it's just me and Jesus, it's just me and God, it's like, good luck. For anyone else who's just like, you know what, I do need people can be used by God to speak into their life regardless of what the situation is. And we are people who we are designed for companionship. So what I mean by getting alone is like there's still an element of you being connected with people, of course, but there's also an element where you disconnect so you can focus in. And one of the things that you see Jesus do, you see Moses do, you see David do, like a lot of the people throughout the Bible, they've all had a time where they've just been like, I need to get quiet before the Lord. And for me, I want to use this video. Let's talk about Hannah. Now, Hannah, she is she's under a lot of stress. She's pretty much in a relationship with another person. Like, she's married to her husband, but there's another woman married to him, and she is the one who doesn't have any children. And so, her husband loves her, but she doesn't fulfill what society's pressures her to do, which is to have children. And so in terms of what she did, she learned that she cried. She got emotional about the situation. She's like, you know what, I don't have this child. You know what, society's putting this pressure on me. You know what, I don't have what I'm supposed to have, right? And people laugh at her, people taunt her, people put more pressure on her. But she gets to a tipping point where she's gone to a festival, or let me just double check. She's gone to an event where it was a sacrificial meal, and she gets to the point where she's like, I can't bottle this up anymore. She breaks down in tears and she wept bitterly. It says in 1 Samuel 1 verse 10, when she cried bitterly and she was speaking to the Lord, like, Lord, this is too much. I can't bear this anymore. Hannah came toe to toe with herself. She got alone and she was able to speak with the Lord. And when she spoke with the Lord, it was like, this is who I am, Lord. This is how I'm feeling. This is my situation. And she was able to do that because of her time away. She wasn't like with her friends, like, uploading photos and saying like, everyone, I'm gonna do some quiet time. It's like, no, it was very much like, I need to be alone. And out of her desperation, she was able to meet the Lord, but she also met herself. And I think when we actually come to faith, this is me, I can't get away from myself and with myself all the time. You start to learn, actually, in order for me to like do this walk, I have to be honest with myself. I can't be a fake me and expect God to bless that. I've got to be like real, and it's hard. But what would make you want to get alone? Now, for me, I was forced into that situation when I decided to jump on a plane and go to the other side of the world and just be like, you know what, I'm going to take a job in China. None of that was orchestrated on my own strength. It was the Lord creating that moment so I could get alone. I could get away from Britain, and I was able to see, whoa, like Britain was tiring me out. Like, it was like trying to wipe me clean. And I was able to get away, and in that time that I got away, I was able to be very alone, but inviting the Lord, like very much like I didn't have church, I didn't have anyone's opinions. It was just like, oh, what do I think? What do I like? What don't I like? Why do I like that? And I was able to ask these, some you could say there's very silly questions, but it made me realize it made me reflect. When I got to Korea now, I was able to, let's just say, go on a date. I'll be able to go out and go to dinner, lunch on my own. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the most pleasant experience when you have people looking at you like, what's wrong with her? Like, why is she eating by herself? Is she lonely? Does she have friends? Like, and especially when I could understand more Korean, I was like, oh, this is probably a weird thing to do, because everyone is very like, eating together is a very big thing in most cultures. And so I ate by myself, but I learned to not think about what people were saying. And look, Hannah decides to do that. She's like, you know what, I'm going to get some time alone. And she's just like, this is how I feel. And she's able to just disconnect from what people around her are saying, and she's able to really hone in a lot. So in that time that I was like having dinner by myself and just like, you know, watching TV and like, Lord, just come in. This is our time. I'm never going to get this time back. I want to make sure that you are the centerpiece of this time. And it's hard, because it's like, there were times I just want to go out with someone, I just want to eat with someone. The other times I'm like, oh, I feel like if I do go out, I'm gonna be rejected. If I do go out with someone, I ask them, oh, you know, do you want to come out? And I get rejected. It's like, oh, I should never have asked. So it was a thing about balance. Like, okay, I'm gonna learn when to ask to when to go out, learn when to just know this is the time I need to recuperate, and learn to just be like, this is not a sad season. It's not me moping about like, oh, no one loves me and I'm just by myself. No, like I was very much like, I had the word going, I had the scriptures going, or just I was watching something on Netflix. It didn't have to be like a holy time. Like I want to eat. Like, and if you've ever lived abroad, probably eating out sometimes is cheaper than cooking. So there were times where I definitely ate out a lot more, especially when it was around payday. I was like, time to eat out. But yeah, I definitely would encourage anyone who's thinking about, like, you know, you want to progress in your relationship, but it's so noisy around you. Like, what do you do? And you know, I live in London now, and it's not that easy to go out by yourself, because it's like there's some change involved, you know, there's some money involved. But there are times where it's just like, you know what, let me just disconnect from everything. Let me disconnect from the internet. Let me put my phone on my bed, or put it under the pillow, somewhere where I can't even see my phone, and like focus on what is happening right now. Maybe if you write in a diary, write how you're feeling, or write what's going on. If you're not really a writer and you go for walks, go for those walks, you know, have time out where it's just you and the Lord, and you know, say it out loud, like, Lord, I invite you into this moment, and see what happens over time. Don't expect you're just gonna be like, Lord, I invite you in, and then he's just gonna like show up and there's gonna be fireworks. Like, take each day as it comes. So yeah, back to the point about Hannah, that, you know, she became, you know, toe to toe with herself. She became real with herself, and she was able to say, you know what, I don't like the situation. Now, granted, it didn't mean her situation changed in a moment, but it was like she was able to be vulnerable in the Lord's presence. And you know, for us, like, what's your turning point to get alone? What's gonna make you say, you know what, let me just stop? Do you have to get to a breaking point? Do you have to be like almost a nervous breakdown, or could it be that, you know what, let me try it for the weekend? It's not like you're trying to create like a whole new system. So like, let me just try it for the weekend, where I just disconnect from my phone, disconnect from everyone, and just get a moment out. And you know, fill that time. Don't just have it like, well, that's it, I'm just going to be sleeping all day. Like, fill it with something. You know, maybe it's reading the word, maybe it's listening to sermons, maybe it's just doing the thing you've been putting off for the longest time. And yeah, you're going to be accused. You're going to be accused of being weird. You're going to be accused of being a drunkard, like Hannah was. Like, Hannah was accused of, like, I think it was Eli, who was like, throw away your wine. He accused her of being crazy because she was praying, but her lips weren't saying anything. Her lips were just moving. But yes, she was, I'm assuming, just praying, because, you know, when you cry so much and you can't even speak, you're just like so I'm assuming that was what she was doing. But she did it in public. So, you know, if you shut the door in your own place, like, what can you do behind closed doors that you probably feel a bit more comfortable doing than going out? Anyway, getting alone doesn't mean you're cutting yourself off from friends and family. It just means that you've got a separate time for you and Jesus to really hone in, and for you to be able to say, all right, this is what I need. Maybe it's not even necessarily like a weekend. Maybe it's just the evenings. Maybe it's the mornings. Maybe it's your lunchtime. Whatever it is that significant sacrifice that so you can get real up close and personal with the Lord, because he is literally like knocking at the door. Are you gonna open it? So if you want to stay in a sense of like, I'm just gonna do me, I'm not focused on what other people are doing, I'm just gonna sit in my individual lane, you do that. If you're also thinking, okay, I want to get in a deeper relationship with the Lord, I need people, it's just all a bit fuzzy, just pray that you would incline in the Lord to what to do. But you only can realistically do that if you've got time alone. Stay focused, stay blessed. Have a great day.